Well, first of all, congrats on your EP. That is amazing and such a great meaning behind the title of it. So, out of the 6 songs, I really enjoyed the sequencing and how you made the track order. So, how do you go about creating a track order or sequencing for an album?
Well, I think it's kind of simple actually. I always want, and I feel like up, down, up, down. As far as tempo, I try to think somewhere along the lines just to keep it. You're trying to think about how to keep someone's attention through without getting tired of it. So if you can, you don't want 3 songs in a row that all feel the same. You want it to feel different every time. So I kind of just throw them and then I'll arrange them just by tempo. But it's I think, I mean, it feels good when I listen to it and it ends well. It's really big for me how it starts and how it ends, the first and last track, and between there you just kind of whatever feels the best.
For sure. And you did write one song by yourself on the record. How do you approach a songwriting session by yourself compared to having other collaborators?
Well, I mean, I had never really co-written until this record, like getting ready for this record. I wrote those first 2 albums on my own, and then signed a publishing deal and a record deal in Nashville. So they were kind of putting me in these rooms trying to you're just trying to write all the time, really, to just, I mean, you're throwing darts, seeing what sticks. Um, and so the co-writing thing was really new for me. And then, but I mean, and that's like a scheduled meeting between you and 1 or 2 other people where you go in and you try to write a song, which I'm not very good at. And I really, most of the time I don't enjoy it. Sometimes it really, and I do it because sometimes it is really good and you get good stuff. But I enjoy writing on my own, which is I kind of am always doing, if that makes sense. It never really turns off or stops. It's kind of an all day, everyday thing in my mind. Um, and so a lot of times, whatever, the things I start there, I'll take into writes and we'll finish. Is kind of how the co-writing thing works for me. So I don't know. I think the next one I'll probably write all on my own, hopefully.
Awesome. And there's so many standout moments on this EP, and I wanted to get your take. Do you have a proudest lyric that you wrote off this record, or maybe one that stands out to you the most?
There's a couple that I just sometimes you'll be like, that's not bad. And it's just in Love You Like That, there's a line that says, I heard your mama say you need a man that needs you more than the air he's breathing in. And I remember when I wrote that, I really, really like singing that line. And I think I look forward to it in the song, which that feels good. And then, what would be the other one? Oh, and Hold Me Back, which I wrote with Tony Lane. And I remember whatever the line is before it, he said that, and I just, in the swimming line, never been much for swimming in here, but I sure know how to sink. I remember his face when I said that to him. And he was just like, he doesn't show a ton of emotion. And that was kind of one of the few times that he did. And so it just, there's a couple on the record, I think, sure.
Sure. And you have one song on there that you did not write, which I know is a rarity for you. And I read that you listened to it 15 times in a row and thought of your grandfather. How did the song fall in your lap, and what was your reaction the first time you heard it?
Yeah, it was really simple. The label just, Brian Wright at Universal sent me. I got a text message. I was driving out to the ranch, and it was just an audio file, and I turned it on, and I mean, instantly I was like, damn. And it's funny because if you listen to the song, you listen to all this other stuff I've been writing over kind of the last year and a half, it just fits. It's like when I played it for my dad, he actually didn't hear it until I sang it. And he was like, that is absolutely one of the best songs you've written. And I was like, I didn't write this. And he like, it just, I think it fits so well. And I really enjoyed singing it, and I kind of connected with it. I mean, it reminded me of a lot of, especially on the first time I listened to it, just kind of reminded me of my granddad and how I kind of grew up, and it was really just kind of wide ass open a lot of the times, but it was really good childhood, and it kind of took me back to that. And I enjoy songs anytime that they do that. I'm going to enjoy them a lot. And then obviously it just felt good to sing it. So it was like the complete package if I had to pick an outside song to cut.
Yeah. Was there any song that didn't make the cut that you would have liked to see make it?
Oh, I think several, yes, because I was want to put out a record, and the labels want to put out an EP, and I'm fine with the EP. I think it'll do fine. And I was excited to do something I had never done before, which was just a 6 song. It was nice to not, or just to at least do something different. Um, and so I wouldn't say I don't know. I mean, if it hits and it does well, um, and then people believe it, then I'm fine.
Oh, that's great. Are you already considering thinking down the line, like, oh, album, ready for it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm always, again, like, it never turns off. I think I'm always thinking, every little like thought that goes through my mind is like potential for, um, for something to put together and create and turn into something that would go on an album. I think it's just sometimes I very much wish I could turn it off.
Yeah. And I'm always curious with songwriters, is there an oddest or weirdest place you've actually written a song or come up with an idea for one?
Well, I have a song called "Hell of a Year" that's getting a lot of love right now for obvious reasons. And I wrote that. Um, that's actually funny now that I think about it. I've written 2 songs in fast food parking lots. So I wrote "Hell of a Year" in a Whataburger parking lot, and then a song a long time ago when I was like a sophomore in high school, same exact on my center console, but at a Jack in the Box. So maybe I need to go there more often.
For sure. That's really unique. And I know a few months ago you dealt with COVID and when you were ready to gear up for a couple shows. You're feeling good now. You're 100%.
Yeah, I never felt bad at all. I was really, really lucky. I know a lot of people can't say the same. But I never felt bad. It was actually, I really enjoyed it. I went to my ranch for like 10 days and had my bus go out there and just lived out at the ranch for 10 days, and management canceled everything. Um, and it was just, I think it was like more, I think it was 9 days actually, and just absolutely disappeared. It was great.
That's amazing. Well, amazing. You got the little downtime before this
Yes.
album kicked back up. And I also saw that you already performed a socially distant show and you have a couple coming up. What is that experience like?
Um, you mean they're called socially distanced shows, and they're limited capacity, and the venues really do a good job of putting these on and keeping everybody safe in the way that it should be. Um, but it is a different vibe. It is not. No, everybody's typically seated in at tables in this huge venue, and everybody's at. It can be. It's different, but at the same time, we would play on a street corner right now. We were missing playing so much. So we really are grateful that they're like putting these together and letting us come play them, and it's better than nothing.
Yeah. I mean, since you were stuck at home prior and everyone was kind of in quarantine at the beginning, do you think being stuck at home has hurt or helped your creative process when it comes to songwriting and music right now?
Um, Personally, I think it is. I wouldn't say it's hurt it. It's just when you're touring and writing and recording and just music business, your career day after day after day after day all year long. I think I'm much more creative and just kind of aware of the pressure to like continue creating a lot more than I had. Like now, like you're just at home, nothing really matters right now, nothing's happening. And so you kind of, and at the same time, I've been home in 3 or 4 years now, really, for more than a couple days. And, and you really, I mean, I've enjoyed like doing stuff that I mean, like hunting and going to the ranch. Like I'm doing those things in a few years as much really. So it's kind of like bittersweet, I guess.
Yeah. So